this has taken a turn. Hello everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel, this is Lemonade Stitching, and today is my 2026 StitchCon Unpack With Me recap video. If you're somewhat new around here, you may not know that I have done this video twice now. This will be my third time, and it's my take on the kind of retreat recap update situation. So instead of doing a pack with me or a vlog, because I inevitably forget to vlog or just don't feel like it when I'm at an event, I do a little unpack with me. We go through my bags, see what I brought with me, see what I brought home, and we just talk about the retreat and the amazing time that I had. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. I have 3 big bags. I can't even lift them all up at the same time because they're so heavy. And yeah, we'll just talk about it. I'll throw in some tidbits about the retreat, who I was with, who I saw, all the fun things, and I hope you will stick around. Okay, so first things first, we should probably talk about what StitchCon is. It is a 3.5 day cross-stitch retreat in Cincinnati, Ohio, hosted by Keepsakes, which is the local needlework shop up there. And basically 300 stitchers gather together for the weekend, and we just sit and we stitch and we chat and we laugh, we shop, we do all the fun things stitchy related, and it's wonderful. It's a great time to see old stitchy friends, make new stitchy friends. People come from all over the US and all over the world as well, and it's just awesome. I also want to mention who I was sitting with this year. It is by no means necessary to plan out who you're going to sit with before you go to a retreat, because you're going to meet amazing people there no matter what. But I was lucky enough to kind of have a plan going in. So I sat with my good friend Maddie from Kitty Stitch on Instagram and Flosstube. And then we made some new friends this year. We sat with Allison from Maybe Not Stitches. We've been following each other on Instagram for a while, so it's great to meet her in person. And then we also met and sat with Ashley from Paper Crane Yarns, who you may be more familiar with if you're in the knitting world, and her best friend Kira, who is now of course one of our friends, and we convinced her to start a little cross-stitch Instagram, so I will have all of those lovely ladies linked down below. And we just had the best weekend. We were table 16, which is actually the 2nd year in a row that I've sat in table 16. So I think that's gonna have to be my number. We're gonna have to go for it again next year. But yeah, so I will also say I probably have more stuff than a retreat where you have to fly to, because I'm only about an hour and a half to 2 hours from this retreat. So I can pack a ton of stuff in my car and it doesn't really matter. So I will say I'm a bit of an overpacker when it comes to retreats thus far in my cross-stitch career. But yeah, so let me jump in. We'll start with the swag bag from Keepsakes. This was the bag that they did this year. It's kind of like a fleece wool material. It's got some side pockets, and then it has like a longer strap that you can attach. And yeah, and then it had a couple goodies in there as well. It's like flannel lined. It's really nice. But generally my organization style is to keep all the stuff that I get at the retreat in the retreat branded bag. And then I of course have my stitching bag that I bring with all of my goodies and all my stitching and accessories. And then I do have just an extra bag of stuff that I thought I needed. So let's explore what is in this bag. First up, we've got a mini trash can. This was a necessity. Usually my friend Elizabeth from Frizzy Lizzy Stitches brings one of these, but she couldn't join us for StitchCon this year, so I took on that role of bringing the trash can for the table. And this is just so nice to avoid having to get up and wind through all the tables and make your way over to the trash can every time you have a little something to throw away. I've also got a headband that somehow ended up in here. This is one of our goodies that we got in our StitchCon bag. It is a pattern stand from Chantel 141. There's her little logo, and it's branded with the StitchCon logo, of course. And it's a wooden board, and it's got the pieces in the back here to basically make a stand, so it stands up. And you can put your iPad or tablet or pattern up here and keep it propped up in front of you when you're stitching. I saw a lot of people using this year, so this was definitely a great swag item. And if you've never used any type of pattern stand, I would highly recommend. They are a game changer. Also from Chantel141, this is a bit of shopping that I did, but I got the tomato cage, which is like a arched hanger. I was talking with my friend Sally from Sally Stitches and she was saying she had the idea to put pink wren on here from Jet X Stitch. So I'm gonna attempt to do that. It is gonna be a tight fit, I think, but whatever, we'll try it, we'll see what happens. If the sizing doesn't fit perfectly for pink wren, then I will just save it for something else. But I think it'd be super cute to have this, and then you have like the pink wren banner hanging. Adorable. So we're gonna try that out. I found it in the annex, so I was like, might as well pick it up when I don't have to pay for shipping. And then we've got this little odd thing sticking out right here, and I want to pull this out. If you have watched any of my recent floss tubes, you will know that I have somewhat started exploring needlepoint, but I specifically go for needlepoint that is a little odd, probably vintage, doesn't cost me very much, and I am expanding that theme with this roll of needlepoint canvas. I found this on the brag table like the second or third day of the event, and I could not believe my eyes. I don't think you guys are gonna believe it either. It is, oh, and it's all rolled up, so it's gonna be so hard to show. If it won't stay unrolled, I'll put in a picture. I'll put a picture over it. But it is a Western vest. So they are two vest pieces. Oh, I need to get them unrolled because you have to see this. It's incredible. Look at that. Like, shut up. This is a huge vest. It's gotta be like a men's extra large or 2X size vest. I'm obsessed with it. It was, again, on the freebie table. Like, how could I pass this up? So I was joking to everyone that I was expanding my brand of unique, free, cheap needlepoint with this vest. So stay tuned in the next 5 to 10 years, I guess, and we'll see what comes of this needlepoint vest. But I just couldn't pass it up. Like, look how freaking cute the bandana collar and the cow print. Like, I am just obsessed with this. I couldn't say no. It had to come home with me. So there's the other side. So that was a no-brainer for me on the freebie table. The freebie table honestly was popping off this year. There was a ton of like fibers and stuff and stockings and mill hills, which you'll probably see in Maddie's vlog. She just posted it like a couple hours ago. I haven't gone and watched it yet, but you definitely should. But I assume she shows you what she got in there because she got some good stuff. But I will show you what I got on the freebie table as my next thing. I keep all of my paper patterns in this like pad folio that I have because it's kind of sturdy and they won't get damaged as easily in my bag. So that's definitely a great tip that I have if you're going to a retreat or you're expecting to pick up some patterns, is bring something that you can put them in that they won't get damaged and bent and, you know, creased and all that. So I've got a good little stack in here that we can go through. And a couple of these came with all the fibers too, which was amazing. So to start off the pile, we have not even a pattern, but these adorable badges that Allison from Maybe Not Stitches made. They're little like badge stickers. I feel like that's a trend this year, is like the merit badges, but they are so stinking cute. I already put one on my pattern like locker stand that you'll see in a bit. But they're just like the cutest little icons. She is an amazing artist. But she's got like UFO enthusiast, Ort savers, retreat regular, just like the cutest little designs on here. The strawberry moon sow, like just absolutely love it. So thank you, Allison, for these. These are her table gifts. And then I have a chart that I brought with me that I was finished, so we'll just save that for later. And then we've got my freebie charts. So first up was Adam and Eve by Carrot Top Samplings. Now this isn't necessarily my style really at all, but it's an OG Carrot Top sampling, so I felt like I had to pick it up. And also it came with all of the MPIs for the project, fully kitted on the freebie table. So this was an immediate yes. Brought this home. Unsure if we'll stitch Adam and Eve, but I will certainly be using the MPIs. And then the other chart that was fully kitted was this Santa stand-up thing. It's called Packed and Almost Ready, a Mosey and Me design for Rainbow Gallery. It's an old chart. It's got like an actual photo printed out on it. But it's this cutie little Santa, and it's got cross stitches and specialty stitches, and it uses a bunch of fibers. And let me show you this bag. Look at all that. It had so many cards of thread, and then some like huge cloth. So I'm excited for this. I think this will be a fun Christmas project to do at some point. It even came with a few beads. I think I'm just missing a couple of charms and like maybe 1 or 2 threads, which I can absolutely make work. But I just think this is adorable. It's got a little sheep and it's just so cute. And again, it came with all the threads, so how could I pass it up? Okay, other freebie things. We have Pat Rogers Counted Collection May Basket Sampler. I thought this was super cute. It's got another little one down here, but I mainly like the big sampler. And then we've got a Prairie Schooler, which is a set of 12 patterns for the Holiday Homestead, book number 14. And I'll do like a little, you can never get the whole thing in the camera, but love that, love the goose. I'm going to Stitch North next year, so maybe I'll be stitching that goose, who knows. And then a couple freebies from Allison. She brought a pile and gave us first dibs at the table. I got Plum Street Samplers Turkey Bay. I realized I had never really stitched anything for Thanksgiving, so I thought this would be a fun one with all those flowers. Love them. And Le Poulet Pink Heap by Stacey Nash. I've been eyeing that one. I think it's so cute. So that might have to be like a birthday start or something, because the chicken has a party hat. So like what better time to start it than my birthday. And then the only other pattern that I had in this folder was one that I actually got shopping at Keepsakes, and that is a Blackbird Designs, obviously, and this is A Wish for You, which is from the Anniversaries of the Heart series. It's pattern number 3, and this was actually in their 50% off bin, which I could not believe, and so I figured it should come home with me. But I love that checkered house. It's amazing. Okay, that's everything from my pattern folder. And the other thing that I got out while I was looking at that is this super cute project bag, also from Allison. She really went above and beyond, but she made a bunch of these little project bags. I picked out this one for the strawberry and the heart, and I mean, it's also just like adorable. So love this. And this is what I used to organize my threads this year, because you know, you just collect threads and things. So I put in the threads from the freebie table, and then I also got this Threadworks on the freebie table. Incredible. Whoever donated all this, thank you, so generous of you. And then some other things that I found on sale at the shop were some shortcuts of General Art sampler threads, and we're pretty sure that just means like it doesn't have the full 5 yards on it. Unclear how much it does have, but who cares? It was $1.50. So I got 4 colors from their little basket, and again, if something's on sale, I'm probably gonna get it. So got some threads. And then this is the inside of the bag that Allison made. So adorable. Seriously, she is so talented. So everyone go follow her on Instagram. What else is in this bag? My Keepsakes bag, we'll go to that next. Like I said, we did some shopping at Keepsakes. Allison, Ashley, and Kira obviously never been to Keepsakes. It was their first time at StitchCon, so we had to go show them what it was all about, and obviously I couldn't go in there without shopping. So in addition, whoa, In addition to the threads and the blackbird, I got a good little pile of fabric. So we'll run through that. One of my favorite activities at Keepsakes is going through their fabric bins. They keep their fabric sorted by count and then somewhat by designer as well. And so I like to go through and find all of the scraps or just like oddly shaped pieces. I don't know why, but I think it's fun. So this is my pile of mostly scraps and like odd pieces that I found. First up, I've got a mystery piece of pink linen. It's like a baby pink. I don't know if the sun's gonna let you see that, but it's a cutie little long piece of baby pink. Mystery count, mystery fabric, and they gave it to me for $3. It was absolutely wonderful. And then I got another mystery piece of linen, which is this like weird yellow color. It's very long, and they were like, $5, whatever. So again, a wonderful deal. The sun today. I might have to like close the window or something. But it's like very yellowy, but like a grainy, dirty yellow. I don't know. And then I got a scrap of, a fat eighth of the Stitch Me Sand Dollar in 40 count. This was just a regular piece, except it was already cut. So I picked that up. Beautiful modeling on that. And then I found a scrap of, what is this? R&R La-Di-Da Brown. And this is a 32 count. But there's R&R and it's a pretty color, and so I brought it home. And then this one, this one didn't have a name, so Susan named it for me, Cincinnati Sky, because the sky was very overcast and dreary, but it's just like a minty bluish gray. It's pretty, just an odd cut. And then these two I think are normal sizes. So we've got a Picture This Plus feldspar, and it's about a fat eighth. I think it's slightly bigger, and someone had it custom cut and returned it. But look at this freaking fabric. I'm obsessed. It's like blue and brown. It's absolutely incredible. I definitely have heard of people using this, but I don't think I've seen it in person. And when I pulled it out of the bin, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. I will be bringing that home with me. And then it was the same for this other one that I'm about to show. It's so far out of my normal, like what I go for, but I could not pass it up. Look at that. This is by Mystic Fabrics. It's called Mother Nature, and it's a 36 count linen. And it's like turquoisey, browny, sandy colored, very beachy. I'm obsessed. So I did get a fat quarter of this. I can't wait to find something to put on it because it's just absolutely stunning. And I'm sure the camera doesn't do it justice. Okay, what else is in here? I know we should be coming across Band-Aids at some point because I stabbed myself so many times. I ripped my finger open and Ashley had Band-Aids in her bag, but I don't know where exactly those are. We have a ruler in our bag. It says, so much fabric, so little time, from Stitches and Such. Hot pink ruler. Yeah, it's definitely hot pink and not red. Love. And then we have one of the little freebie items that people were passing around. This is so cute. It's from the Fob Factory, question mark? Yeah, I think it's from the Fob Factory, and it says Pouches by Paige. This is the little card that they included. But it is a needle minder bead tray. So this is what it looks like. And when you open it, hold on. When you open it, it comes open and it's got a sticky mat. And you can put beads in here, and there's a magnet on the back so you can magnet it to your fabric and have your beads right nearby. And funnily enough, when they brought this around, I was in the bathroom on my phone ordering a bead tray from Katie from Red Stitchery. So now I have 2 magnetic bead trays that I can use for all my wonderful beaded projects, which is very exciting. My pile is growing and I'm kind of regretting doing this because now the bed is an absolute disaster. I've also got a little sticker that I found. That's so fun. Let's see. We've got a keychain that someone was passing around. It's got a little 2026 charm. Super cute little wristlet chain. Another little key fob that was passed out. I cannot remember who made these, but they're so cute and they did such a good job. It probably has a bag floating around somewhere, but it's got a little skein of yarn and a strawberry. And then another one of the little freebies that people were passing out. This is an Anna needle minder. Super cute. And I love how everyone puts their stuff in these little organza bags. Could not be me. I was literally assembling my gifts the night before we went. Oh my gosh, this I also picked up off the freebie table. This little like cottage. I couldn't believe someone didn't want this. So I'm gonna give it a bath and find it a cute little hoop or frame and put it on my gallery wall back here. I think it'll be a great addition for my little adopted project. What else, what else? Okay, lots more just like goodies in the bottom, so let's dump things out. Okay. Oh, we've got some stickers, of course. A StitchCon Hot Girls Have Grandma Hobby sticker. Love her. And then another stitcher was passing out her freebie. This is 3 Owl Threads. And she was literally passing out Weeks Dye Works thread. So I got this cutie little skein of hibiscus, very pretty pink color, and an owl sticker. Someone else was passing out little like trims and stuff. This is from the Pink Stitchers, and they had a bunch of different like trims and whatnot. So I got like a pink velvety trim. I'm obsessed with it. Can't wait to use it on something. And they have their little cute sticker on here. I got some scissors from Vintage Cottage Stitches. And look at this adorable freaking chicken. This is from Stephanie across Stitch the Globe. I think she said someone at her LNS makes these. I want to like hold it so you can't see my face, but it's the cutest little stuffed chicken. She had us like pick them out of a bag, and I got the only green one she brought, like it was fake. So this is my new chicken. He's dense. I don't know if they filled it with like walnut shells or beads, but he's dense and he's cute and I love him. I also got an adorable keychain from our new friend Shauna, and it was on a project bag that we will get to eventually, but I felt like it was too much for the project bag, so now I'm gonna use them separately, maybe hang it on my bag or something, because it's just heavy. Oh, things are falling out of other places. Oh, I think this is who made the keychain. This is Rita from Stitching with Ginger. She made the cutie little strawberry and yarn keychain. And then another StitchCon attendee was handing out candy from Costa Rica. I couldn't remember where it was. Costa Rica. And then our service project this year was Habitat for Humanity Cincinnati. So I picked up one of these little keychain card holders. And what else? We've got just DMC wrappers that didn't make it in the trash can. Oops. We'll just tuck those in there. And we've got our little keychain that I need to assemble. Keepsakes always does a cutie little keychain make and take for the last day. So that's super cute. And then I've got some other charms that people are handing out that I can put on keychains or zipper pulls or whatnot. So adorable. Okay, that's everything that like came out of this bag when I shook it. I still have yet to find band-aids, but maybe someday I'll just be using this bag and randomly come across band-aids. I don't know. Or there's a secret pocket that I don't know about. But again, here is our StitchCon swag bag. And it's got like a laptop pocket, a couple other interior pockets. So, love. That is bag number 1. Okay, bag number 2 is my kind of like odds and ends. Ew, there's something sticky on here. Okay, well, don't love that. Unsure where the stickiness came from, but we'll just ignore it. But yeah, so these are my odds and ends, kind of just like stuff that didn't go in my stitchy bag or my whatever my swag bag was, and kind of just like I was packing up and threw stuff in here. So the biggest thing that we've got sticking up is one of my brag table items. So I ended up putting 3 things on the brag table, and if you've never been to a cross stitch retreat, a brag table is basically just a place for stitchers to show off their finishes and show off what they're doing. I'm feeling more stickiness, so I'm hoping that, I don't know what I'm hoping, but I'm not enjoying it. But anyway, I wrapped it in a heating pad because I've been having issues with my back and my hips this spring. So I brought my heating pad just in case the like ballroom chairs were giving me a hard time. Thankfully, it was fine, but I'm glad I brought it just in case. So another pro tip, make sure you bring some kind of like cushion, pillow, heating pad if you have a sensitive like back or sitting for long periods of time bothers you, so that you can be as comfortable as possible during your retreat. But I brought, oh no, something definitely got wet in there. Well, this has taken a turn. Something definitely got wet in this bag because there is water damage on this frame. The stitching looks fine, so I'll have to deal with that later when we're done filming. Amazing. There is other stitching in this bag, so, oh, this is turning into a catastrophe. I'm not having a good time. Yeah, there is soda in the bottom of this bag, which is what we're getting to, but apparently it burst open. So we've got Lucy Gray. She did have a beaded hanger on the top of her, which has broke, but that's okay because look how cute she is. This video really took a turn. Ew. This smells. So I'm gonna have to take this out and wash it, which I'm not super pumped about. But this was one of my brag table pieces. I wonder when that happened. This box is my table gifts. And this year my table gifts were little stitching cases. I have extra because I'm going to another retreat later this summer, but I did little stitching tins and I put in some stickers and floss drops with my little lemonade stitching logo on it. And then I included some scissors, a cable tie, and some chapstick because I love having little tins like this for travel stitching on the go. So I thought that would be a cutie little cost-effective table gift this year. So got that and all my extra stickers and stuff in this box. No. This is my other brag table piece that I'm really hoping I don't have to stitch again. And oh, this is so sad. Pack better. if you learned from this video, pack better than I did. This was my third piece. It was a finish of my like wedding pizza that we served at my wedding in October. I thought this would be a cute piece for the bride table. Maybe I should have left it at home because it's perforated paper and it's wet with some mystery liquid. And then I've got my table stand, which I literally never use, and it is also sticky. It has a mystery substance on it. So this would be the culprit. This pierced Sprite can. So don't put stitching and cans and other things in the same box or bag because bad things will happen. But also I'm wondering where the rest of this Sprite is because the top is sealed and it's empty. So I don't know when it popped and I don't know where it popped. So I'm gonna have to go investigate where these bags have been sitting for the last 2 days and see if it's there or see if it's in my trunk. But my retreat beverages this year were water, Sprite, and Celsius to keep me going. I actually didn't end up needing any Celsius this weekend, which is crazy because I was kept up way past my bedtime every single day. But I was pretty proud of myself for not needing an energy drink and just surviving on 1 to 2 coffees. So that is that bag. I definitely recommend bringing a snack bag. We had amazing snacks and we got compliments on our snacks. But I would not recommend throwing anything in that bag on your way out of the retreat, regardless of how exhausted you are and just trying to pack up in a hurry. So I'm gonna wash my hands because they're sticky and the next bag has all my projects in it. And I don't wanna show you, or I don't wanna get sticky soda on my projects. Okay, well, moving on from that ordeal, I'm so upset. That is not how I saw the rest of my night going, is dealing with an exploded pop. But we have one more bag, arguably the biggest bag that we need to go through. So this is my stitching bag, my retreat bag. I got nervous. I thought the bottom was wet, but it is, I think, just cold from being on the floor. I love this bag. This is a Land's End tote bag, size large with the large handles. I don't remember the exact color, but it's like the spruce green or whatever. I absolutely adore it. I do have stitching on the front. It's full, so it's hard to show you, but this is a pattern from my friend Elizabeth at Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. I can put up a picture, which will be easier than holding this up. And then on the front, I've got some bag charms that I've made and a little mini tote bag and keychains from previous StitchCons, and it just jingle jangles and makes a lot of noise, and it fits everything I need for a day of stitching or a week of stitching or whatever. So let's dive in. The first thing that I see on top of here is a box of tissues. You can tell I kind of have no voice, or my voice is a little strained, both from the retreat and just allergy and cold season. So I brought a box of tissues. It didn't end up needing them, but I wanted to be prepared in case I got a little sniffly at the table from all the allergies and whatever. So I had tissues, which again, thank goodness for driving and being able to pack things like that you probably wouldn't be able to if you were flying. I've got a bag of pretzels, which was one of my table snacks. And then, oh, what else is in here? Cough medicine. Oh, more table snacks. I forgot I threw these all in here. Gummy worms and dark chocolate sea salt caramels. And what else? Oh, mints. I felt like I had to bring mints because, you know, you're eating and snacking all day and then you're like meeting people and breathing in their face, all that nasty stuff. So I brought mints, and I think that was, yeah, I think that's all my contributions to the snacks. We also had Oreos, Goldfish, and Cheez-Its. So we got compliments on our table snacks for sure. But let's jump in. I've also got my iPad here. I need to update Notion still. I didn't update Notion. I think I updated it the first day and that was it. So as I go through these projects, I'm also going to be multitasking and updating my Notion. Maybe I'll show you one time how I do that, but I will not bore you with the details every single time. Okay, let's start with the top. This is a project bag from my friend Shauna. I do not remember her Instagram and Flosstube off the top of my head, but I will have her link down below because she just posted her very first Flosstube video like right before StitchCon, and it's on my watch list for this week, probably over the long weekend. And she made Maddie and I these beautiful project bags, and I'm obsessed. It's got a beautiful rainbow zipper and I appreciate it so much. I don't think she necessarily made them like for us, but she had them and she gifted them to us, and I'm just very, very grateful. So in this bag, I've got one of my starts and finishes, and if you're following along on Instagram, I was trying to keep my story updated with all the projects I worked on, but this was actually my last project that I pulled out. Oh man, let me try fixing the window. Okay, this is my sweets, and it was a freebie from House of Cam. And it's so cute. It's for Strawberry Moon, and I was gonna do the whole thing, but I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it little and just do a little like keychain, key fob, you know, circle bag charm. So I hope you can see it on this fabric. This is 40 count Silver Mist by Mystic Fabrics. Ignore the placement on this big, huge piece of fabric. I was feeling kind of unhinged and just went for it. So that is my sweets. And how many stitches did I do on my sweets? I did 467 stitches. I need to put that in Notion. Okay, amazing. One project tracked, and I'm gonna keep this out because it needs to go in my project roll. And then the other thing I have in here is one of my annex purchases. And it is this cutie little, let me take all this thread out. The cutie little thread bed from Nana K. And it's so cute. It's got like stitching themed fabric, and I'm obsessed with it. And I've got a needle minder in here from my friend Ashley. This was her gift. She bought one for each of us at the table, little needle minders. So cute. So I'm obsessed with this thread bed. Next project bag is one that I made last year, and this is my Anna Funk project, which is my friendship sampler. So over the course of the last year, as I've been meeting new stitching friends, I've been having them choose colors and motifs and all the things. And so this is how Anna Funk is looking. I did get quite a bit of stitching done on this on Sunday, but I accidentally didn't remember to have anyone pick colors until Sunday morning when like half people were gone. So Allison still needs to pick colors. I'm trying to remember if anybody else does, but as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna take pictures and send her, you know, please pick colors, because she wasn't able to stitch with us Sunday morning and I felt so bad. But I just completely forgot to pull this out. So I'm obsessed with this. So I had Chandria, Hillary, and Tara all pick colors, Kira and Ashley. I think those were all the new friends this year because Amity and Erin and Maddie had already picked motifs last StitchCon. Okay, next up I've got my stitching case. This is another item that I made last year for StitchCon. It is a green jewelry case with a Blackbird's design project on the top. And I kind of destroyed this at StitchCon last year, and I had plans to redo it. Did not. So it is kind of a wreck going into the weekend, but not nearly as much of a wreck as it is now that the weekend is done. So I was just collecting all sorts of goodies in here. We've got little threads, and we have this new hummingbird. This is what Amity and Erin were passing out, if I can get it. Little birds on magnets, super cute. We've got lots of stickers and a corner gauge and all kinds of stuff that people were passing out. Some needle minders that I collected over the course of the weekend. all kinds of good stuff in there. Some floss drops. So that is the status of that. I had to take a little break to charge my camera, so I cleaned up a little bit, went and checked on our damaged Sprite soaked projects. I don't want to talk about it. It'll be fine, but the Sprite did get on the corner of the stitching of Jacques' View and on the mat. So we will be replacing those, it appears. Not the stitching, obviously. It didn't get to the like stitch part, it's just on the Ada, so I'm just gonna give it a good wash. I will have to lace it again, which is a bummer, but it's okay, could be worse. But I will have to replace that overpriced mat that I bought, which is upsetting. You can't see it from the front, but I don't want to risk like putting it back on there and it getting moldy and disgusting. So anyway, I went through my Notion since I was waiting for the camera to charge, cleaned up a little bit, and we have to keep going through my stitching bag because we're gonna lose the sun pretty soon. So one thing I did not show you when I showed you my stitching case is my new badge reel. I am obsessed with this. It says R&R. Look at that. Is that not the best thing you've ever seen in your whole life? Most of the StitchCon staff members this year were wearing like fun, funny, goofy badge reels instead of like your typical name tag. And Natasha from Britches Get Stitches was wearing this one, and I was like, OMG girl, can I have a picture of that? I'm obsessed. Where did you get it? I need it. And we chatted about it a little bit, and she was gonna like figure out where it was from so I could get it. And she came by the next day and dropped this off at my table, and I was like, oh my gosh, they had an extra one. Thank God, because I say that a lot. My husband and I say that a lot. Turns out she was sweet enough to just give it to me, which I really, really appreciated. She did not have to do that, but I am very excited for my new R&R badge reel. It looks super cute and I'm obsessed. So that is the new addition, because if you don't know, I wear my scissors on a badge reel so that I don't lose them. I do still lose them a lot, and like I like go like this, like where are they? But they're always right here. Okay, what else is in here? My entire project roll. I have a problem where, you know, show and tell is a thing, and you never know what you're gonna want to show somebody, especially when you never get to see your stitching friends in person. So like, other than my husband, people haven't really seen these in person, so I didn't know what I was gonna want to show off. So I just brought the whole thing. It's full of all my non-FFO'd finishes, all rolled up nice and safe in here, not in the bag with soda, thank God. And yeah, I had a little finish parade for Maddie at her house Wednesday night before we went to the convention center. And I figure if I'm driving, whatever, throw it in the car. I also brought my entire whip basket because I was like, put it in the car. But we're not going through all those because I didn't touch more than like 3 of them. Next up, we have just a boring Amazon bag, but inside we have a finish. This was my first finish of the weekend, and it is Garden Borders by Blackbird Designs. This has not been shown on the Flosstube yet because I just started it at the beginning of June for the Strawberry Moon sale and my Year of Blackbirds. But I'm obsessed with it. It's on 36 count Heartland by Picture This Plus. I'm stitching it I stitched it 2/2, and I did do a color conversion. I will make a graphic to post on my Instagram, but it calls for like 10 or 11 colors, and I just kind of combined them and used 6 because it just didn't need that many, and I was trying to stitch it mostly from stash. One thing I love about this project is the green that I used. If you look at the like strawberry vine, you'll see it looks like I used 2 greens, and that's what the pattern originally calls for, is a dark and a light green. But all I used was this Cottage Garden threads in the color Chamomile Tea. And the variegation on this is so stunning that it looks like I took the time to fussy cut this whole thing, when in reality, it's just this one thread. So this is my little plug for Cottage Garden threads. I love them, and they came in really handy here because it was able to save me from picking another color. So that is Garden Borders by Blackbird, my first finish of the weekend. I did get to This year it was bang a gong. They didn't have a bell, they had a gong. So I went up, banged the gong, and everybody clapped for me. It was very nice. And I will put that video in now. I'm trying to stay organized while I finish filming this and put all my threads and stuff in this bag from Allison so I can put them all away at the same time. And then I've got my finished pile. Oh, my finished pile is on the floor. I forgot. Okay. Next, we have my bag with the Keepsakes exclusive, or I'm sorry, the StitchCon exclusive from last year. I figured this would be a good bag to bring, and I don't remember what's in it. Oh, fabric. I brought some extra fabric in case I had a rogue new start. This is the one that I used for Cam's project. And then I brought a pink and a tan, just in case I had an unplanned start. You never know what'll happen. I may or may not have thoughts on what I'm gonna put on these, but we'll save that for a different day. A lot of the ladies at my table, AKA 3 out of the 4 of them, are stitching the frosted pumpkin stitchery circus stitch along. So I may or may not have been influenced to join the stitch along. We'll have to wait and see. But it is not started right now. So it was not a StitchCon start. What was a StitchCon start was my next strawberry moon style project in my strawberry bag. This I have been excited for since it came out, and that is Mystic Moon by Kathy Barrick. And I bought the call for fabric for this, which is Thornfield by Fox and Rabbit. Thornfield by, I don't know. Thornfield. A bunch of stuff is called on it recently. Maybe it is Fox and Rabbit, and it was like really hard to get your hands on. So I was on a couple different waiting lists, but I was able to get the called for fabric. And this is, it's kind of folded up. This is my start. So I had already cut the fabric to size before I left, and I've got a center start. And I'm doing a mix of MPI and DMC on this, I think. I did have a slight crash out when I started working on this. So I got MPIs, I had a gift card, so I got 2 of the main pink colors that have like 1,200 stitches each, and then a brown and a maroon, because the pattern said it was really, really hard to get a DMC match for the maroon, and really one didn't exist. So I got those, and then I was gonna use DMC for the rest, but I was stitching, and I put in this moon, and I was like, what the heck? Like, that is not the right color. That cannot be the right color. And the model was there, and it really did not match at all. And I was checking and double checking, and I was like crashing out. I was like, do I just need to go buy all the MPIs? And luckily for me, the MPI, or I guess I should say, luckily for me, Keepsakes sells MPI. So I was able to see the colors in person when I went to the shop for shopping with the girls. And the color that moon is supposed to be is this. It's MPI 763, I think. And this is the color of the DMC that I used, or that was called for. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up the difference, but there is a significant difference. So I'm still kind of crashing out about it. I did end up buying at least one of the MPIs. Maybe I bought 2. Who knows? I think I just bought 1 MPI while we were there. I'm gonna go with it, see what the vibe is. Thankfully, a couple of the colors of MPIs were in that other Kathy Barrett kitted project, so I got those. So we're gonna do a little trial and error with this. I don't want to buy all the DMC or all the MPIs. That seems a little ridiculous, but for like the main colors of the moon and the strawberries, like I want them to have the same effect as the model. So we'll see. I'll have future updates on this in like regular Flosstubes, and we'll we'll see what happens. But I did get this started. I got like 250-ish stitches, I think. I don't know. And so far, I was gonna say so far so good, but so far not super good, but I'm gonna pull it out and keep trying. Okay, what else is in here? This bag is significantly more empty. I can put it on my lap. We've got my name tag. My friend Bridget made this for me last StitchCon, and then I stitched a little name badge to go in here with a free pattern from Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. And I've got my like StitchCon actual name tag in the back, and it's got a zipper where I can put my credit card. But I didn't let myself keep my credit card in here because I would have lost it. Like, it would still be in there 4 days later and I would have no idea. Oh, I've got an entire bag of liquid IV, another great snack, because I'm usually not very good at drinking water when I'm stitching, or really anything at all, so these were really important. Then I have Elizabeth Scora in one of my favorite project bags from my friend Cam at Cam the Stitcher. She gifted this to me last StitchCon. It's a Shiva Designs bag. I'm obsessed with it. But I got about 300 stitches in on Elizabeth Scora as well, which was my impulse purchase at StitchCon last year. So here's the overall sampler. And I was focused down here in these flowers. I've been so excited to stitch these since I got the project, and so I'm excited that I'm finally down there. This is on 40 count, one more reproduction by Bestitch Me with the called for Glorianos. So I'm obsessed. She got, like I said, another 250 to 300 stitches one of the afternoons. And then what else? What else? Oh, another new start. I also brought the Bride from Lavender and Lace. I did not end up working on this because of all these other projects I've just shown you. But I did work on Garden Belle by Jet X Stitch. This was Maddie and I's planned start for StitchCon this year. And I brought two different fabric options. One was Blackberry Latte by Grace Notes. This, I think I got my first StitchCon. It's just a really pretty mottled purple. But we ended up deciding as a table that I had no choice but to use my Midsummer Stitch exclusive fabric from Lindy Stitch's Midsummer Stitch event last year. Like, look at that. This is a Stitch Me exclusive for that event. It's a beautiful pink and blue and purple mottled linen. I had it in 40 count, so that is what I chose to use. And I did a bottom left start because I'm hoping to use this for my DIY journal cover for Midsummer Stitch this year, which is a class that Jandy Dean is teaching. It's a little wide for the cover, like from the recommended size, but I don't really care. So I'm just gonna do it anyway and see what happens. But yeah, so I'm stitching it on the right hand side of the fabric. I started in the bottom right corner of the chart so that I'll have the whole fat quarter, and then basically I'll be making a book cover, so the extra fabric will like wrap around. You'll see it. You'll see it when we get there, or you may have seen it already because it's been popping off on Instagram, or if you've seen Jandy's video, she has made that with a couple different charts. So yeah, that was a really exciting StitchCon start. I'm obsessed with it. We had like a whole Jet X Stitch day where we all at the table worked on Jet X Stitch charts, and it was super fun. I'm trying to think. Ashley started Trillium Forest, if I remember correctly, and Allison started, Canary Yellow. Allison started Canary Yellow. Maddie finished a Jet X Stitch chart. It was a great day. The whole Jet X Stitch, I think Friday was our Jet X Stitch day. Okay, we're almost done with this bag. I've got another headband because I get overwhelmed when my hair is in my face. We've got a 10-foot cord, which if you're at a retreat that has power, you are so lucky. Thankfully, StitchCon has power under each table, so I always make sure to bring a big long cord so that it reaches up to the top of the table and I can charge my iPad or my phone or whatever. I also see a lot of tables bring like power towers where it's got a long cord and then it's got a bunch of plugs, so that the plugs are on the table. You only have to crawl under once, which is also a great idea. A crap ton of napkins that we just stole from Chipotle. A pen, because you never know when you have to write something down. And then this is my other pattern stand that I have. This is metal. I got this last year and I've been putting stickers on it, obviously. Here's the back, super cute, and the front. And this is what I normally use and what I use at home a lot. And so I brought it, of course, not knowing that we were gonna get another one this year. But I really like that it's metal, so I can stick like needle minders and stuff to it. Okay, last couple of things. We've got an empty project bag, another pen, a fabric tag, hopefully that's not important. My camera that I literally said to Maddie the first day, I was like, we cannot forget to take pictures on this camera. It's one of those like film-esque digital cameras. Literally took one picture when we got there, one picture before we left, and that's it. So, oh well, whatever, maybe next time. Let's see, we've got just some other garbage and a receipt from my McDonald's, and that is it. That is all that's left. I can hold this up again, I guess, because you can see the pattern on the front a little better. She's a crafty girl. I really wanted to put more stitching on this before, oh my gosh. Oh wait, no. I have a gift for Cam in here that I forgot about. We found it on the freebie table. Well, Maddie found it, but I'm delivering it. Oh, and then the last thing I have in here is my light. I got a lot of questions about this light because I was using it when we were stitching Thursday morning in line. And it is just a book light from Amazon. It folds up nice and little, but then it like folds out and it's got the nice thick clip there. So it can go on my hoop, and the top angles and swivels. It's got a couple different light settings, and it just charges with a USB. And I have shown this in videos before, but I think it's worth showing again. It's like 12 bucks. I love it. Obviously any book light will do, and I think they're great to have, especially for retreats, because they don't have to be plugged in. They're rechargeable. You never know. Even if you don't need lighting for the retreat itself, you never know where else you'll be stitching when you go to a retreat, in the hallway, in the lobby, in your room, at the restaurant, you know, who knows. So I got a lot of questions about this when we were sitting in line. It is from Amazon. I can link it for you if you're interested, and it is just incredible. All right, well, that is everything that came home with me from StitchCon. It was such an amazing weekend. Literally, I had the best time seeing everybody. Some people I haven't seen since last StitchCon a full year ago, and so it was great to just catch up. And like, obviously you see people on the internet, you keep up with their videos, their Instagrams, but it's not the same as being able to like sit and chit chat and laugh and, you know, just talk about life or whatever. So I'm so grateful for everyone that I got to spend time with this weekend. So if that includes you, you know who you are. And I'm also grateful for everyone I got to meet that came up and said hi to Maddie and I at the table. That was amazing. There were just so many, you know, it was great to just be in a room of talented stitchers and just share our wonderful craft. So thank you for watching. Again, I will link everyone I mentioned in the description box, so go check them out, give them some love. Maddie's got a vlog of the weekend that I will link as well, so you can see more of what the weekend was like. And with that, I will leave you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and I will see you at the end of June for my next monthly Flosstube update.